We saw Demonica get murdered. We saw Adam win a shield. And now we will see another person be banished after some lively discussion, I'm sure. So I'm just going to turn it over to you all. Begin.
You
Kinsey,
guys want,
I know you want
yeah,
to start.
I was gonna say,
I have my hand raised for after you, so.
so, I mean, I've already discussed this in the main chat, so you guys pretty much know what I'm gonna say. To the traders, I mean, good try. It was kind of stupid if you're trying to like frame me because murdering Demonica, but if that's what you're trying to do, that was probably really dumb because I've been in the org community for 6 years. I've played trader games. Uh, If I was a trader, I wouldn't do something that stupid. That's just silly. So good try on like trying to deflect things, but I don't know. Like I was told earlier today that apparently my name might be brought up tonight, so that's why I just wanted to clear the air. And I mean, if anyone thinks I'm a traitor and wants to try to banish me tonight, you guys are gonna waste your vote, and you guys are just gonna go back to square one. That's all I have to say about the matter because I'm not a traitor.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys, I just needed to let that out and just say, good try, traders, but unfortunately, it wasn't a very smart move. I'm done.
Okay, I wasn't going to bring this up today, um, but I've heard a movement in things, and with my role, I don't really have a choice if I want to stay in this game. I've told a couple of people my role. I've told a lot of people um, but I'm just gonna put it out in the open. My role is the assassin, and basically how that works is I had to choose a target round one, and if that target is still in the game by final 12, like not at final, like if it's not where I still have final 12 to get this person out. I have to get this person out before final 12. Otherwise, I'm banished. And it sucks because the person that I chose round one, I have gotten really close to personally. It's someone that I really do think of as a friend. And I wasn't going to bring it up this round table, but I have heard that people are potentially leaning towards this person. So I'm just going to say this right now. Because of my role, and I'm so sorry, but Barb, I will be voting for you tonight. And the reason why I think that the reason why I'm doing this is not necessarily because I think that Barb is a traitor or a faithful. For my role, in order for me to stay in this game, I have to target someone. And I feel like in this game, I have been very outspoken and been very vocal with my opinions, with my ideas. Um, and I do think that I will be very helpful for the faithful in the future. And so I, I mean this with no disrespect, Bar. I hope you know I love you, but at this point, it's either you or me. So at some point, so
Well, the whole thing is to get out a traitor. I am not a traitor. I'm not. And for those you know, I'm drunk. Somebody can't remember who. Where I have to vote randomly. So, but yeah, no, absolutely not a traitor. So, um, I would rather stay in the game. But I also am voting. Most people know who I'm leaning towards right now. So, but hopefully Alex's dilemma doesn't make you guys vote me out.
I hope you understand why I am doing what I'm doing. It's not against you as a person at all. I hope you know that.
No, I get
And
it's a game, but I would rather be me staying
Oh.
than not staying.
Right.
Alex, I'm just gonna reply to that. Oops, not my camera, like 1 second, let me put my camera back. I love you as a person, but I'm sorry. That's just really silly in my opinion because the faithfuls are already going pretty downhill. And I truly don't believe Barb's a traitor at all. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just feel like if we go to what you're saying and we lose a faithful, at this point, like we've only got out one traitor, and who knows how many other traitors are in the game. And at this point, I just don't feel comfortable voting. Sorry, voting for someone I clearly think is a faithful. Um, I understand where you're coming from, and I know that advantage really sucks. And obviously, that's really tough. But like for me, I can't speak on everyone else, but for me, I can't do that. I
Can
have to go with who I truly
Yeah.
think is a traitor.
Can I kind of rebut on that really quick?
Mhm, of course.
I think that in this game, we kind of have this mentality of if we get a faithful out, we're just doing what the traders want. If we get a certain person out, we're just doing what the traders want. That happens every time we take a faithful out of this game. Think about Meg. Think about Zhao. Think about just think about that.
Okay.
Every time that we are wrong, it's what the traders want.
Okay, I understand that's where you're coming from, but like when I want to vote who I actually think is a traitor, not just vote for somebody because you have an advantage. And of course, I'm not trying to be mean. Of course, like you saying in the game, I understand that you want to. But for me, like I already know kind of my gut feeling who a traitor is. And I don't really want to change my vote to get someone who I'm like almost 100% sure is a faithful. Like if you see where I'm coming from, like I'm really not trying to be harsh, but like that's just my opinion, and I apologize if I'm being harsh, but
It's asking us to choose between two faithfuls. And not
exactly.
even trying
that's
for,
just
and
what
not
the
even trying
traders
for a
want.
traitor.
Exactly. And for me, I can't do that.
So can I kind of
Alex, I think Cam wants to speak.
okay.
So Kenzie, I got questions for you. Who are the two people that said your name is out there?
I don't know. Like, I'll be honest. Like, Gabby is the one that messaged me and said that my name, I should be scared that my name's out there tonight. She's like, just a heads up, you will probably hear your name. And then she told
What
me
I
that if
said
it
was that what I said was that people might bring up the banishment. It never said for sure. People might
okay,
be
yeah.
as a reason to target you, but I don't think you're a traitor.
Yeah, and just having you in that message was the only reason I said what I said because I am not a traitor.
So was it just Gabby or was there a second person that said it?
Oh no, sorry, it was just Gabby. But by the way she said it, it sounded like it came from more than like just her. But I may have just misunderstood.
Oh no, yeah, no, just saying that people could use that as an excuse. Like I hope you get where I'm coming from, Kinsey. That people could easily jump on that bandwagon and say, "Oh, the Monica and Kinsey had to fight Kinsey, and the Monica's murdered."
I mean, I just want to interject real quick. I'll be quick. I see Alex your point. I get that. There's also a couple more rounds before you're at that timeline. I think it's really, really important that the
Two
faithful
banishments, including this one.
right. And I get that. But we're losing faithfuls. There's going to be a murder tomorrow, right? There's going to be another banishment. There's going to be another murder. We're losing faithfuls. Now I'll be honest. Some people have come to me and said, "Oh, I've heard my name's been in your mouth." If you are not actively working to try to get a traitor out, then yeah, that looks quite suspect to me. Like, what are you doing? Right? Like if we're not having conversations, I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people. Obviously, there's more than one traitor left in this game. I think it's safe to assume that 2 or 3 of the people right here on the screen are traitors. And my rationale is who is doing what? Because if you want to claim that you're a helpful faithful, but you're not being helpful in trying to determine who a traitor is, then one, you're not a helpful faithful. And in my eyes, I don't even know if you're a faithful. And I'm just going to put that out there. I have nothing to lose. I'm probably getting murdered tomorrow. I've been very outspoken, but I am outspoken because I'm a faithful and I want the faithfuls to win. And I want the rest of the faithfuls to have our head in the game and think logically and objectively and make smart decisions moving forward. So that's just my opinion. I will also not be voting for Barb. No offense, Alex. We've had this conversation. I'm okay with doing what needs to be done in another round. I definitely want you here, and no offense to you, Barb, either, but I feel like Alex has been very helpful as a faithful, and if I have to choose one or the other, I think I would have to choose to keep Alex. But I think tonight the priority needs to be getting out who we think is a traitor. And if everyone's had their own conversations, but I really encourage people, if you're faithful, to really think about who has been the most helpful to you and who has not been the most helpful to you, and really think about what people are doing with their time. I don't think any of us is just a body in this game. I think all of us, I get we're all busy, but I think all of us are playing this game, and which means everybody has the time to have those conversations. And we're not just like Meg, who knows what she was doing, right? Like, I don't think she was really here, but everybody else here right now, I think, is playing this game.
100% what he just said. You just said exactly what I was going to say, Brent. Wait, Diane, didn't you have your hand up?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like, there's too many suspicious on the one person, and I need to know the truth. That's my
just a real quick question. I've heard a few different names, but has anyone come up with anything more solid than the last roundtable as to why some of these people are being considered traitors?
I have not heard anybody the last couple of days since Tina was banished. But I'm sticking with my vote this morning tonight is going to be for the person that I have been suspicious of for a little bit, and I'm just going to go with my gut this time. So
can I ask why you're holding the information back? I mean, you're gonna have to tell us later.
No, I'm just because I've told several people, but my vote is gonna be on a high read tonight, and it's just my gut feeling. Like, I voted Tina because everybody else was saying Tina, and I know Tina well enough to know that if with her being a traitor, she probably was uncomfortable with that role. So I definitely got her out for that reason. But I also still think Hyrie is mine.
Yeah, so this is where I'm gonna come in. I honestly don't think Hari's a traitor now. I've actually talked to a couple people about this. I truly think Hari's getting framed, and we need to open our eyes and see why. I truly don't think Hari's a traitor anymore. I know the other time I kind of thought he was, but after talking to someone, it really made me think that I don't think he is. And you know, there's a couple people really pushing Hari, which is a little weird to me. But Cody, I'm also hearing your name, and part of the reason is because it seems you seem to be pushing Hari quite a bit. And I mean, I'm not the only one that said your name, but I just like it's kind of weird that you're really pushing Cody. I mean, you're really pushing Hari, and then you even voted for Hari last roundtable. So honestly, Cody's probably where I'm going because I truly believe in my gut that Hari's not a traitor.
Well, let me ask you.
I see what you're saying, Kinsey.
Who do you think is a traitor then?
Cody.
You just Cody. And what?
Oh no, Brent, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of think you are too because you've been really pushing Hari.
Yeah, of course I've been
not even
Hari.
gonna lie.
But I want to get a traitor out here. Look, I'll say this one more time. Here's the evidence. We had the video. We had somebody who said, this is the video. This is a traitor. We had Hari say up and down. You're going to find out who the real traitor is. This guy, look at where the information's coming from. Well, Jay was a faithful. He was not a traitor. So there was that. If you look at the round table, that first round table, Hari was like, oh, I'm going to prove I'm a helpful faithful. Now, if he's been a helpful faithful to you, awesome. But he hasn't been to me, and he hasn't been to other people I've talked to. No one else is coming out here. Y'all are like, oh, we don't know.
John, can you back me up on this?
Yeah, I do agree with Kenzie that there is some suspicious activity from Cody. Like, you had mentioned something to me about not liking the way that Demonica kind of votes randomly. and then she's murdered. I also thought it was really, really strange, like last roundtable, like one of your points for not voting Tina, who I think we all agreed was 100% a traitor. I mean, like we saw the murder in plain sight, right? Like we knew she was the traitor. The reason you didn't vote Hyrie was because of like recruitment. I think there was something you said about that. And I just felt like if you had truly thought that both individuals were traitors, recruitment wouldn't matter because either way there'd be a recruitment. So the math just wasn't mathing for me. Um, and I know that there's multiple people that have felt this way as well. I've heard other conversations you had shortly before the Demonica murder. Like, there's multiple people that have this.
I'm happy to defend myself because I think that's the whole point of the roundtable. And I can go through quite literally everything and debunk just about everything that you said. Starting with the comment that I made last roundtable, the recruitment. I've even gone further, and on the main call that a lot of people were on yesterday, explained my reasoning thoroughly, as I did before that roundtable. Looking at a traitor turret that has Hyrie, Tina, etc., who we, of course, knew that Tina was a traitor from the murder in plain sight. I never said that Tina wasn't. Look at that. Do we really think that Tina is running the traitor turret? No. Who do we have the next highest suspect on? Hyrie. I am so sorry. We take out Tina, they recruit a very strong faithful and turn that faithful into a traitor. You take out Hyrie, they still have Mama T, who isn't doing anything that we know is a traitor, and we take out a very strong traitor in that moment in time, and what, they gain one strong faithful versus them having two very, very strong traitors in that turret. That's the math for that. The conversation that I know you're alluding to is the one that I had with MJ, which was also a very scary conversation, because MJ had been going around asking every single person that she had calls with if that person would accept a recruitment, which I think is alarming. I've had 4 people tell me that you asked that question to them yesterday before, and I told you flat out, which has aligned to everything that I've said this game. Would I accept a recruitment? Absolutely not. My role in this game is a faithful, and I will die a faithful. I refuse to let a traitor use me as a shield in this game. And if voting me out helps you find a traitor, then by all means do it. If you think voting me out just because Cody would make a great traitor, that's not how. And I feel like the honest shenanigans that have happened is very Survivor play style, because this was a whole elaborate scheme kept under wraps in a separate chat and not discussed until an hour before the vote, which is another red flag for me. So I've been on Hyrie, I've been consistent on Hyrie, and I've called out even some of my closer allies in this game because that's the name of the game. You call out your friends, you call out what you see, and I'll leave it at that.
I just want to say, like, you've been consistent with Hyrie, but you also were part of the Jow vote. And if you truly felt like Hyrie's been a traitor the whole time, I'm confused why you didn't vote him at that round table. I
Because
agree
that was the
that
deciding factor.
I 100% agree that with Mama T in the turret, there's someone in there running it. And from what I've heard about the way you play, that could absolutely be you. So my gut is just that's where my vote's going tonight as well, Kenzie.
Lose a
Guys,
very
I'd like to speak since my name was
We
just brought
have
up.
so we have
Like
4
you just brought
people.
my name up, and I
Yeah,
feel like
we
I
have
need
4 people
to
that
address that because I in no way did I bring up recruitment. I had a few conversations, only 1 or 2 of those did somebody in conversation bring up recruitment, and we had that discussion. I never brought it up. Also, Cody, you were the only person I talked to about that I really felt like DeMonica was a faithful and shared some of my reasons why. And then the next thing I know, she's murdered. And now you're throwing my name out there saying I had these conversations I didn't have. And that's very suspicious to me. And you all know I've been on the Hyrie train for a long time, but I've also been doing some digging in other conversations and have reversed my opinion on that. And I do think that there's lots of suspicion around some of your behaviors, Cody. And I hope you're not a traitor, but I definitely am very suspicious of it.
Can we let the people that have their hands raised talk? I've had my hand raised for a long time, but because Hyrie hasn't raised his hand, I would like him to go first, if that's okay with y'all.
Thank you. Mine is not necessarily a question to anybody, but like number one, doesn't mean you're not talking to everybody. You're not a useful trader, or you're not doing anything, because you can't judge somebody based off of that. And like a counter argument to that is that if somebody is talking to everybody, and that can also mean that you're a trader because you want to be in the know with everyone around you. So like it can go both ways for both arguments. And then number two, this talk about recruitment is kind of weird. And like, why was there even a conversation about a recruitment when we know it doesn't happen early in games? Like, especially when there's like a set number of traders, it usually like happens further down after you banish. And like, we don't even know the number of traders in this game. So like that to me is weird. And I got pitched Barb's name like last minute. And to me, this feels like we're playing Survivor and not traders. So that's the 3 points that I want to get out there. And then, yeah, Cody, I see your hand up. But before I get to you, it's like one of the things that I was made to think about was like who actually gains from framing me the most. And my direction goes to Cody because of our long-standing history. Because if you can't, like, if murdering me gets back to you, then framing me would be your only option. I don't know if you have any rebuttal to that. So
I think
that's what I'm thinking right now, Cody.
I think that just proves like hand in hand why it would be dumb for me to go for you if I'm a traitor, because I know it would get back to me. I'm voting for you because I think it's you, not because of a history. Also the fact of the recruitment in every traitor game that I have played, LRG and hosted, there has always been a recruitment as soon as the first traitor dies. It typically is an option of murder or recruitment or both in every single game that I've played. So the narrative shifting it's interesting. But I mean, if y'all want to play Survivor, let's play Survivor. I am so fine with the traders winning this game at the rate this is going.
I want to play the traders, and I want to ban a trader tonight.
So I wanna just comment on I just want to comment on something really quick. So I think that there is a lot of speculation around the idea of the importance of like getting out a traitor or getting out someone that is an unuseful faithful. And I think honestly both of them have their merits. Multiple people have come up to me this round. I wasn't even gonna go for Barb tonight. I was okay with going a different way. I don't know how I was gonna vote, but I sure as hell was not planning on voting Barb tonight. However, people came up to me and told me that Barb's name was out there, first of all. And multiple people have also told me in this game that people think that Barb, and like Barb, I'm not saying this to insult you in any way whatsoever. But people have told me that Barb has been an unhelpful faithful. And I've been outspoken the entire game. I have not made my opinion shy at all. With the Demonica situation, I was so shocked that Demonica was a faithful that got murdered because of the fact that I've had conversations with people on those calls, and I've given my reasons why I thought that the Monica was a traitor.
So
And
Alex, sorry, who told who can you say who came to you and threw out Barb?
no one necessarily threw out Barb, but people have.
You just said they did.
Can I talk? People didn't necessarily throw out Barb to me, but people have told me that they have heard Barb's name.
So it's just a game of telephone? Is that what we're being told? Sorry, like we need
Yeah,
to stop playing.
you literally
like,
you
we
literally
need-
just said Barb.
like,
You
we need
literally
to
just
stop
said
playing
somebody
this-
told me
I
Barb.
did say I was told Barb's name. I will not say that they were telling me they were not originating Barb's name. I will say that I've heard Barb's name through other people that heard it as well.
So it was just a game of telephone? Is that what we're being told?
That's basically.
Then who is coming to you saying they heard Barb? Who?
Yeah,
I
I think that's a better question.
I'll say I also heard. I'll say I did hear Barb's name, but I just heard there
Like,
was
where did
also
it-
Barb. I do not know where it originated from. Either.
I don't know where it originated either.
But who came to you though?
So
Who came to you and said they
so
heard Barb?
Gabby just admitted that she did. If it's okay with another person, I'm also gonna say that Cody also came to me with that information. Cody, you can help. Cody, you can back me up.
Absolutely. And you want to know where I heard it from? Hyrie. Hyrie told me Barb's name was out there, and I think that's the only way that Hyrie stays in the game. And I was like, that's interesting. That's a very crazy conversation. So the fact that Hyrie knew about Barb.
We talk a lot, and
heard
he
it
never
from
told me
Alex.
that. Yeah,
This is now
the only
second
person
time
I've heard that from is
publicly
Alex.
defending Hyrie. Second time
No,
you're
I
publicly
heard it from
defending.
Alex, and Alex, you told me this, and I did tell you that I heard it from you.
So how it happened? So how it happened was I told you my role, and then you said if the votes come down to it, you would be willing to vote Hyrie. I never said I wanted to vote. I mean, not vote Hyrie, vote Barb. I never said actively I wanted to vote Barb. I was just explaining to you my role and explaining to you my situation.
This is weird. Like, see the setup? Like, the dots are connecting for me.
And
I will say with the Barb thing, however that started, obviously Alex has an incentive for that. They just
Right. So it's actually very funny that people are saying that I was pushing for it. I was not pushing for it. All I did was tell people my role and explain my situation. I told people that if you don't want to vote out Barb this round, that's fine. I went to MJ earlier and I said, would you be considerate of it? And she said no. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I dropped it because of that. And then I heard it again. That is why I'm so pushed. That's why I pushed for it, because it was something that I heard after the fact.
Alex?
Yeah,
Alex, please.
I personally have been quiet. I know in this game somewhat, and I'm kind of like that when I don't know a whole lot of people. I kind of just sit and observe a lot, and then once I get to know certain people, then I start talking more. And I've just been like observing and seeing what everybody else, is saying, because sometimes if you just watch, you learn more by watching than talking. And but I know Amy, of course, and I know Kinsey, and I knew a couple other people, but a lot of people, this is either my first time playing with you or, maybe second or third. So I don't really know a whole lot of people. So, and to be honest, I got out of my comfort zone to play on Zoom because I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone more. So I'm just, trying to get used to the format, so to speak. But yeah, no, I am totally as faithful. I, definitely will help out more as far as that goes. But like I said, our goal is to get out of Traitor, and so that's how I'm going to go for it tonight.
Can I just say something, because I'm actually kind of upset now. I don't want people to. I'm like really upset because I feel like people are in this call whenever I brought up these points, and people have been talking to me after. People have kind of been like assuming that like I came up with this when I didn't, and it really does hurt because all I did was tell the truth about my role. All I did was tell people how it affects my game. And so it feels like, and I know that it's not, but it feels like people are doing this because they think that it's easy to get a rise out of me. And that's true, it is. And it's just very overwhelming. And I don't want people to think that, like, I started this train. I was just telling people the information that I had.
Alex, I
Alex, I
think
don't
you're an
think
amazing
nobody,
person.
yeah, nobody's
If
trying to
you
take a rise out of you. This is what the round
Yeah.
table's
if,
for.
And we
if you
understand.
feel if you feel
I
like
think
I did it when
everyone
I
is.
said the game of telephone, that was not my intention, and I
No.
don't want you to think that it was. I'm just saying it is frustrating that the name came a little last minute, out of
And,
nowhere.
and I
And
agree, but I
but
hope people understand why I asked.
no, no, we do. Like I think a lot. I'm going to speak for myself. I do.
Yeah, me too.
But this is what worried me tonight. And I'm going to say it, and I said it to a bunch of people. Like, someone was going to get a rise tonight. And now we're distracted and we don't know what's going on.
Yes, exactly. We're distracted. So
And
with 2 minutes
I'm
left, I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
pull
Barbara
it right
is,
back to
is
the center. And it's going to go right back on Hyrie because Hyrie came to me with a pitch to save himself and also question mark me because that's how I find out that Sean and MJ have been plotting to overthrow me tonight. And even though I don't receive the most amount of votes, MJ plans on playing this power that would save Hyrie in that moment in time, and I would go home, which is where this Barb vote comes from. Hyrie told me that Alex needs to be on board and we need to get people to vote for Barb so that Barb gets the most votes and MJ wouldn't save Barb, therefore I would be safe.
So do you
So
think
I
Barb's a
did not
traitor?
even.
do I think Barb's a traitor? No. Do
I
I think
didn't
Hyrie's
even
a
say
traitor?
all that.
Yes.
That's
Then how do I
crazy.
know exactly what MJ's
I don't
power
understand
is?
why he would say that to you and not me.
Why
I
would
talk
I
to
know
him
what
all the
MJ's power
time.
is? That is so MJ's never told me that. That is random, completely random. And I know that it is the power that when you play it, and you can play it after everything, you don't have to play it before, the person who receives the most amount of votes is safe, and the person who receives the second amount is the one going home. That's too much information to not be accurate. I rest my case.
That doesn't
I
mean you're
also
not a
want to know where
traitor.
that came from because I have been talking to Harry regularly. He never told me that.
All right, well, that's time. It's time to vote. All right, please put your votes in your confessional. Put any powers or abilities, make sure that's clearly communicated, and we'll be back. I tagged someone in their confessional. Can they look at it? If you weren't tagged, it was not you. All right. Sorry, there was a little bit to figure out there. I'm gonna start with Melissa's vote. Melissa voted for Barb. Alex wasn't able to come, didn't want to come on screen to talk, but Alex also voted for Barb. All right, we're gonna start with Gabby.
I've been going with my gut since the first vote, and I'm not going to change that. And I've had question marks about this person since day one. And if I'm wrong, then I apologize, but I voted for Cody.
All right, that vote is actually going to go to Brent. So it's 2 votes Barb, 1 vote Brent. Tanner.
I voted for Barb because that's what's been circling. But if I'm wrong, I'm very sorry. But that's who I voted for.
All right. Sean? Sean, you are muted.
Sorry, I think you're an amazing person. But I voted for you, Cody. Just gut feeling. So
All right, that vote is going to Brent. So 3 votes Barb, 2 votes Brent. MJ.
I also hope it's not true, but did put my vote on Cody.
All right, that vote is going to Cody. Cameron.
One thing about me is question trust and loyalty is one way for me to get very frustrated. This game has been very frustrating because it's follow the leader, not actually listen and look at logic. Unfortunately, with that, it seems like round after round after round, there's this gang mentality where we gang up on one person, and it kind of came out against Alex as well. And I don't appreciate that at all. So I think it's just to consider it's the same people that are ganging up together. I'm not talking about you, Taylor. If you look at the Tina vote, there was a gang mentality with that. And we know nothing after the Tina vote. It did absolutely nothing for us other than get a traitor out. Kind of a waste. And then Zhao was rallied as well. Cody said something that I never heard before, and it was about the whole Barb situation with Hyrie. I've had good conversations with Hyrie recently. But when I say I'm going to do something, I'm not a flip flopper. And I want that to be very, very clear. And because of that, I am voting for Hyrie tonight.
All right. Taylor.
What can I say? This game's very hard. This game's very hard because there's a lot of people with a web of different connections, a web of like past relationships, good relationships, horrible relationships, and then there's people who we don't know it all. Like I don't know it all. Like again, I barely played, but this game's very hard. But I have to stick with the question mark in my head, and it's just I can't let go of the question mark, and it's really really hard for me to be like, because I want to trust absolutely, but I can't ignore it. I can't ignore it, and that's why. Sorry, I'm just frustrated. I'm trying not to cry myself. But yeah, I voted for Hyrie. I can't ignore the question at this point. I really can't.
All right. Hyrie.
I voted for Cody because that was like a lot, and I don't think that was what we discussed, but you pop off King, and it's not me. Like
Hyrie, I gotta interrupt you. Your vote was blocked tonight.
okay.
So that vote did not count. Brent.
Well, tonight has just proven to be all kinds of crazy. I think it'll be no surprise that my vote went for Harry. I've been very adamant from the beginning. I think the evidence is there. I don't understand, other than maybe several of you are also traitors, but I don't understand why everyone else doesn't see that evidence. We thought it was Joe. He was proven to be a faithful. That was strong enough for me. I brought a plethora of other evidence after that that supports that decision. And for those reasons, I am voting Harry.
All right. That's 3 votes for Barb, 3 votes for Hyrie, and 2 votes for Brent. Cody. Oh, and 1 vote for Cody. Now it's Cody.
Thanks. My vote should come to no surprise. I just feel like moving shifty, and you coming to me with a deal just felt weird to expose people who you were quote unquote working with. This vote and my actions this game have not been a retaliation of our history. If anything, I have the utmost respect for you. So it's interesting that that's brought up tonight. So I voted for Hyrie.
All right, Kenzie.
First of all, cheers to whoever poisoned me. Second of all, my original vote is going to the person who I already claimed. I truly believe in my heart that Hari is not a traitor, and tonight was very messy and just all over the place. But I'm sorry, Cody. I think you're a very lovely person, but I've got to stick with what I was already saying. So my vote's going to you. I'm sorry.
All right, Diane.
My vote was hard tonight. I learned something today. I haven't mentioned it to anybody. I think maybe a couple, but I wasn't on much today. My sister was over. She's got cancer or whatever. And I wanted to spend time with her. I wanted to reach out to that person, but I didn't have time. I voted for Hyrie. If you survive tonight, we need to chat.
All right, Barb.
Hi, I voted for Hyrie. Just going with my gut. I've had a feeling for the last couple of rounds, so I'm just sticking with it this time. So yeah, I just voted Hyrie.
All right, Adam.
Unfortunately, I just think there's too much doubt at this point, and we need to know either way. So my vote is Hyrie.
And Amy. Amy muted. Yeah.
I know. I had to get to where you didn't hear the Bullingtons. Yeah. Shit, this vote was very hard. Kind of really sucks. And if I'm incorrect, I apologize, but I did have to go with Hyrie tonight.
All right. So the final vote count. We got Brent with 2 votes, Cody with 2 votes, Barb with 3 votes, and Hyrie with 8 votes. Hyrie, this means you have been banished.
I'm out. Since it was already thrown out there, having a power that everybody knows about. And let's be clear, I was just mentioning it to one person in particular, having some conversations about, just what the options are and what the play could look like. I'm a pretty strategic person for those who know me. And so just trying to think things through. And I know that person shared it with someone. I know who that someone is, and that's the one who spread it to everyone else. And so I know who you are, and I'm watching you very closely. But I am going to play it because at this point it would be a danger for me to keep it. And so I'm going to use it to save Hyrie. I'm so sorry, Barb. I would have used it on you as well if you would have been the person that had the top votes. I just need to get rid of it. So I apologize. It's nothing against you. I wanted to keep you around.
All
But
right, I can confirm that MJ has a power that can nullify a banishment. So that means the person with the most amount of votes is no longer, all their votes are nullified. The person with the second amount of votes will be banished instead, and that person is Barb. So Barb, you have been banished. Barb, please step into the circle of truth and reveal to everyone whether you are a faithful or a traitor.
I am absolutely 100% of faithful.
All right. Barb, thank you so much for playing. I'm gonna put you in the
Thank
waiting
you.
room. If you want to hang around, I can chat. We can chat a little bit if you want.
Hey, Brendan,
Yes.
Okay, talk to you later.
just to get it out there, I did know about that power. I don't know if that was directed towards me because I do feel like there's other people that knew. But I did know about it prior, and I want to make that very public information before. If I'm not killed tomorrow, I'm sure this is going to be spun one way or the
Okay.
I just want to say I knew about it too, but I did not say a word to anybody. So if you think I'm the one that said it, I
I
did
will
not
say,
say it to anyone.
I just want to say
I did
that
not know about it, so.
there was a group of people that knew about it, and it wasn't shared with Cody until it was said to Cameron. So, and I just find it funny that anyone that voted Cody had pretty
Cameron
much had their
didn't
votes
tell me.
lost.
It didn't come from Cameron. It's the same group of people. It's MJ, it's Sean, who are out here doing the most,
Oh, it's not Hyrie anymore?
protecting Hyrie.
Yeah,
And it's
100%. Because MJ, I mean, I'll just put it out there. I mean, how many times did you tell me you were voting Harry?
How many
Minute-
times did I vote
minute
Hyrie?
single
How
round.
many times did I vote Hyrie?
And
Every
you
vote
going
until
Taylor? I don't know.
tonight,
I mean, you
I
look like a
voted
traitor.
Hyrie.
I'll probably be murdered tomorrow. You look like a
You know
traitor.
what?
Sean, you look like
I voted Hyrie. I voted Meg the first one, and I voted Hyrie the others.
No,
So
because
that's
you
not true.
continue to play with people who you've played with previously. You don't expand any connections, and that's proving
That's not
right
true.
here.
I have plenty
That
of
is
connections, and you
100%.
keep murdering
No.
them. So
How am I?
I've had
Whenever
plenty of
I
other
die
connections,
tonight,
and they keep
whenever
getting
I die
murdered.
tonight,
I
you'll
just want to
see.
know why
You'll
Zhao
see.
would go so hard. Like, if anybody can give me logic on why a faithful like Zhao would go so hard about a video that was posted. Like,
And I
if-
voted Hyrie. The very first vote, I voted Meg against my better judgment, and every other vote until tonight, I voted Hyrie. So that is 100% not true.
but then
I have
tonight
voted
you
him
did,
every
and
time.
look,
I
I'm
have
just
changed my
saying,
mind.
You are
I think
willing to
Cody, you're a
risk it
traitor, and
all,
I'm going to stick by that
and
for
you can
now.
be loud and wrong.
Can I say something now, or like can I just get overlooked? I kind of hope that Hari did get banished tonight. No offense, Hari, because I was hoping that you would come and say you're faithful, and then everything would lead back to Cody and Brent. Because you know what, I truly believe in my heart that Hari's not a faithful, and Brent, you're just looking more suspicious as the days go on.
maybe look, but
I
that's
agree.
fine. That's
You're
fine.
saying so
Murder me.
hard.
When
You're
you're
not
losing
gonna get
faithful,
murdered. You're not gonna get
banish me. I'm
murdered.
just saying, look, you can think I'm suspicious because I am a faithful trying to get out traitors. I am one of the hardest working.
Faithful.
Well,
Oh my
I mean, I
God.
don't look, to be honest, like, it's not Survivor, it's not Big Brother. I don't care what your opinion is.
I don't know why you guys
I
keep
want-
saying that,
hold on,
because
hold
that's
on.
ridiculous. We vote who we
Don't
think, and I
quite literally-
100%
Yes,
changed
we
my
vote
mind
who
on
we
who I
think.
think it
quite
is. So
literally
that's
block
why I
it and
voted.
separate
I-
them.
If you're a traitor in this
not.
game, you're voting to
I'm-
help your traitors and get out faithfuls. If you are faithful in this game, your objective is to get out traitors. That is 100%.
100%.
And
100%. And I now
and-
think that you and Cody are traitors.
That's
I have
fine.
moved off of Hyrie. I've had plenty of reasons that
No,
I
you
changed
still
my
have.
mind,
That's right, 'cause
but
you're
I
probably
voted
a
him
traitor
every
too.
time until
You're
tonight.
probably a traitor too.
So
And
I
and
no,
then- and
I
then-
voted
and then-
him every
It's
time.
Sean
Why would I
OJ.
do that if I was working, if I was a traitor too?
Because
I
you knew
voted
he
him
wasn't gonna
every
go every
time.
time because you knew where the votes were and you knew that you could throw
That's
that out
not
there and
true.
protect yourself.
That's not
Well,
true,
you
but
have
that's
to
a
Every
really
time.
good
that's my
argument.
answer.
I'm telling you, I am a faithful. People know me. I can't lie. I am 100% a
Well,
faithful.
I guess
And
we'll find out.
I think this whole thing just opened up the door and proves, Cody, Brent, you both are traitors.
Yeah,
And we're
Okay,
coming
well,
after
when
you.
you find
I'm a
out we're
traitor.
both
We're
faithful-
coming after you.
when you find out we're
It's
both
so
faithful, when the
hilarious.
traitors win the game,
It's so hilarious.
We're
It's
coming
so
after
hilarious,
you.
Brent, because you're the only one. You're the only one who's saying this is like Survivor and Big Brother. I
No,
don't
I'm
see
not
it.
the only one saying that.
No.
Joe was saying
Yes,
that.
you are.
Kinsey.
I have
I
been,
don't see
raise your hand if you've talked to me. And
See
I've been, it is traitors versus faithfuls. I've said that over and over and over again in every conversation I've had with every single person.
And
I
I'm so
agree
sorry,
with that.
MJ,
I'm
but
the
you and
faithful.
Sean have
I'm the
separate
faithful that's
chats,
against Steel,
and
who's a
what you
traitor.
say stays there, and then it boils up till right before 30 minutes before the round table when y'all cause the chaos every
Yep.
single round.
It all flips right before the
Comes
round
from
table.
y'all.
Exactly.
Hold
Yep,
on, hold
exactly.
on, hold on. Something that I just caught is Sean said it didn't get out until I was told, but multiple people in a chat were told, which confirms exactly what Cody said, which confirms kind of what I was suspecting is Zhao getting voted out. There had to have been a more consistent, it wasn't just last minute. There's got to not be last minute things because there's other people pushing narratives that's not last minute.
Hey, but
We
you're
to start opening our eyes and communicating a little bit more.
okay.
I mean,
If you're
I've been
saying Zhao,
trying as a
if
faithful. I've
you're
reached
saying
out.
Zhao is last minute, I heard Zhao like
Everyone
way
else
early
has
on.
gotten to talk. Give me 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds, please.
Yeah, go.
I have reached out to most people. If I haven't, I apologize. That's on me. I am a faithful, and I actually have a power that could turn some shit around. But I haven't mentioned that. But I just, y'all wait till last minute, and then everything gets all fucked up.
Well, some
And
people
then
do, and I
Sean
think
every
that should, and I
round.
think
It's weird.
objectively that should be looked at. I think if you are,
Why
if
are
the
there
people
people
here
saying this
who are
is last
truly
minute?
faithfuls,
Cody, I knew was the vote hours ago. Zhao said it's not last minute. I was told to vote Zhao, or I was told Zhao's name was hours ago. So to
I mean,
me,
I
Maybe
will
because
say
you
you
don't
guys,
these
trust
names
me.
are not
you've
Then
all
I
last
done
am
a
minute.
great
so
job at
happy.
voting out
I am
faithfuls.
so happy that you
Okay.
felt included and MJ and Sean included you in that
Oh, Jesus
because they
Christ.
didn't to me. And clearly they are behind the scenes with their group of people because they feel protected at the roundtables. Like
Oh my.
that's Survivor. That's not the traitors.
Right, and potentially, again, if there's 4 traders in here, or even 3, obviously they're all working together. They know who they are. Look, again, friends or not, people are going to manipulate. People are going to lie, right? Traders are going to do that. That's what traders do. So it's just, I just
Hey,
want people to think logically. If I get murdered, if I get banished, fine. But I am a faithful, and I would like to see the faithfuls not continue to banish other faithfuls and get out the real traders and think
but
logically. That's all I'm saying.
but that's the point we're at. We're stirring chaos, and quite honestly, the traders could be sitting back and being like, "We don't have to do anything. Let's let these fuckers murder themselves at this rate." Like that's what it feels like. That's why it's
I did
frustrating.
it like I literally vouched
I'm
for MJ to a lot of people 2 rounds before this.
I'm not
After last round, I felt
I'm
like
not
your energy
specifying.
changed completely, not only with me, but with other people.
I'm not
I would like
specifying
to
anyone.
just add, I would like to add my 2 cents. I don't, it probably doesn't matter. I was told before the last round table, I need
We
to
get it,
quit
Brendan.
talking and let other people talk more. So I did not become vocal at the last roundtable, and I don't feel like anything productive went from it. That's why I kind of talked a little bit more today. This is my thing. I'm kind of in the position where people are defending Hyrie so much that Hyrie is such a big target. I don't know if he is a traitor anymore, but I think the people overly protecting him are up to something because he's the shield for them. That's where I stand right now.
Okay, so since I'm someone who actually has been protecting Hari, I'm just protecting him because I truly think, because I played with Hari multiple times, I truly believe in my heart that he is not a traitor. But there's something else I want to bring up, Cameron, that you said earlier about that a bunch of us were ganging up on Alex. I'm gonna put this out there right now since I'm one of the people that said something to Alex.
Yeah.
I was not ganging up on him. On them, sorry. I was not ganging up on them. I was simply just stating how I felt about the whole Barb thing, and I don't think any of us who were trying to talk to them were trying to come at them or try to make them upset. I just know Alex can be a very emotional person, and all I was trying to say was that that's the whole point of a roundtable, to get stuff out of off our chest and to talk to people. So I don't think, I mean, for me anyways, I was not trying to come at Alex in any way or getting up on them in any way. I was just trying to say that it was silly because look what happened. Barb was a faithful. And regardless, we got her out anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I was not trying to gang up on them. I love Alex, like I said, as a person.
Yeah, that was
And I don't like that you said that, since I was included in that, that you said that we were ganging up on Alex, because absolutely not. I love Alex as a person outside of these games.
And
I mean, what's happening? Obviously, the target needs to be on somebody, whether you're a traitor, whether you're a faithful, right? You're trying to get somebody out. If you're a traitor, you're trying to protect the other traitors and yourself. If you're faithful, you're trying to protect the faithfuls. You're trying to get out a traitor. Obviously, traitors are should be pretty good at manipulating and lying. Otherwise, they'd be a pretty bad traitor. And I just want to point out, Harry, MJ, like I don't have anything personal towards any of you guys. I'm just logically thinking as a faithful, and I get that people think whatever you want of me, but I just want to be clear. None of this is personal. I am strictly going by the evidence that I have received, by my own logic, by my own objective data, and trying to make the best decision to help faithfuls win this game. That's all.
I
I
100% agree. And quite honestly, I didn't want to use my power tonight until it got spread all over. I intended to hang on to it. Tonight I voted Cody because I do have great suspicion. But every other vote except that very first one where we all voted Meg, I voted Hyrie because I believed him to be a traitor. And I still am not 100% that he isn't. But I switched my vote because as I was adding up the numbers, and I really didn't want to go for Barb either. And I appreciate Alex. He did come to me and say that he, told me about his power, said that, he wanted to get her out and the reason why it saved him. And I said, I'm not doing that this time because I'm already working on a plan. And I said, and you can't come to me 45 minutes before Roundtable and expect me to just all of a sudden jump on board. So let's have that conversation for the next round. You said you got 4 more rounds to go. I will happily have that conversation, but not till then. I would not have used that thing today. If it would have been Barb who was the one who had the most votes, I would have saved her because I feel like once the word got out that I even had that, it put me at danger. So I had to get rid of it. So it's still not 100% that Hyrie's not. I just
didn't know it.
I hadn't even
because
I
I
didn't know
suspect
it.
Cody is as well.
I did
There's
not know it.
holes in
I
There
didn't
was
what
know
a
you
you
lot
had.
just
of people
know
who
it.
did. It went very quickly, and those people within minutes. I mean, as soon as one person I know shared with another, I ended up with several messages going, "Oh, you have this power." People coming to me asking me.
Which is
So it was out
crazy.
there.
Why not keep that between you and the person that told you that? Because you
would
gain
think.
trust.
And it
You
didn't
gain
get
trust.
Except the person I told is not the one who came to me. The person I told Cameron, and then all of a sudden I heard it from 3 other people. So
I did
But
not
see-
know that. But if you
so I
would've
know
told
who
me,
I told. I know
wouldn't
who
have
I
leaked
told.
it.
I know who he told. And then
I
the
wouldn't
next
have
thing
leaked it.
3 people came to me. So I know who they are, and I know who they are. We'll
So
have
there's
those
2
conversations.
holes in what you just said. You said you're not 100% Hyrie is a traitor or not, but you are willing to save someone you don't feel 100% about when we
Yep.
knew Barb wasn't a traitor.
Because
You're
I thought it was more
protecting
dangerous
someone-
for me
You're
to keep that
protecting
power.
someone who you think could potentially be a traitor because you're
You
protecting
can.
someone you have a vote.
I understand your
why do you
argument.
think
I'm
it was
just telling
dangerous
you,
for
I
to
thought
keep
it was
that
more
power?
dangerous for me to keep that once I kid you not, if you want to see my messages, when I within minutes before this roundtable, I had 3 people reach out to me and mention about this this power that I have that I had told one person. So
Who? Who are
But I
the
just
three?
want to
okay,
understand
it's
the
okay. I
power
know who
who's-
they were. I know who they told.
No.
I've already had the first conversation. I will have conversations with the other people. But it got around pretty darn
Right.
quickly.
So, but your
Can I
power.
quickly interject here?
Can I just get
The
a little?
Quickly interject and say something?
The problem. Yes, Gabby, hold on.
I want
The
to say
problem
that I
is the
understand where MJ you're coming from because I get the logic of it makes no sense to keep a power in the game when everyone knows you have it, and that was your reasoning. I get that reasoning.
Yeah, they'll murder me. So we get rid of the power if you murder me.
Well, that's what I'm
You're
trying
not
to
getting
understand.
murdered. You're either a traitor or you're best friends, and you're sleeping in bed with a traitor. You're
Maybe.
not getting murdered.
Maybe. I've always
You're
had
worried
bad
about
choices
getting
in
murdered
my partners. I've always not picked well. So maybe that's a possibility. I 100% am a faithful. I stand by it. Banish me next time. You'll find out. I 100% am a faithful.
I'm 100% faithful too because Brent, you said something about the Traitors being a very good manipulator and liar, and people have already said, Gabby can even state for this. I am not a good liar. I am not a good liar at all. I can't lie. I go quiet when I lie, and you can ask multiple people that. I can't lie. Last Traitors game, I got called out like that when I was a traitor on call because I just can't lie.
Well, I've been honest with you.
So-
I think you are faithful, but I think
I
Cody's a faithful too.
for that for Kenzie.
Okay, and then
She doesn't lie. So
no.
Yeah, look. I don't think look, I've been honest. I have nothing to lose here.
Yeah.
From the beginning. I think Harry's a traitor. I think
Okay.
John and now MJ, you two are the most suspicious. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I have to look at how many people are left. I have to look at the conversations. I have to look at the data. I have to look at people's behaviors, and I have to make a decision. And that's just where I'm at, and that's why I'm making the decisions I'm making. But Kenzie, I do feel like you're faithful, even though now you seem to be against me. But I
Oh,
do that, and
I just want you to know, I think
to
you're
work
an
together.
amazing person. I think you're an amazing person, and I'm sorry for coming to you. If you end up being a faithful, I will straight up own it and apologize.
I mean, I'm 100%
Because
faithful. The reason I'm so
I
frustrated
truly
is
think
because
you're a
we
very
keep.
amazing person. It's just to me like things aren't just adding up. And if I'm
I
just getting
totally get
freaking
that.
played, if I'm getting played and you come out and say you're faithful, or if you are murdered tomorrow, I'm sorry. I will
Probably gonna
completely
be.
own it.
If you want further
Probably
evidence
be
of me
murder.
being a faithful, let me just say I was working with Demonica, and I wouldn't murder somebody I'm working with. I would never
And
do
I was
that.
a little
But
sus of
I
Demonica
would,
too. Demonica's
who I
behavior was a
literally
little weird
just
with
came to
me.
you and told you my like hesitation with trusting Demonica. You think I'm the type of player that would kill Demonica right then and there, knowing that I just had that conversation with someone who I knew was close.
That was what surprised me the most, is that like you're the only person I had that conversation with, and then she was gone, and I'm like,
But then on
What-
the same
what just
side of the
happened?
coin, y'all are saying how smart I am and how I would make a great trade. That doesn't make sense. Why would
I never said that, but
the people who are voting with you have? That's why I'm just it. Y'all are being fed, and whenever I go, I feel like I am fighting very hard, and I'm trying to think of things as least objectively as I can, putting all personal bias aside. I questioned John at the very beginning of the fucking game. John was the person who I probably felt the most comfortable about because John had a very funky conversation with me that I did not trust. Did I think he was a traitor? Did I go around spreading that he was a traitor? No. Did I put him on blast because he said something way out of pocket and something that I shouldn't have been present in the game? Yes. Do I think
I mean,
people
that's fair. That's fair. I mean, we could certainly have those conversations. I think that's fair. But again, I, was working with Demonica. She gets murdered. That first vote, of course, I went Meg against my better judgment, but I thought it was better to keep my vote close to my chest for that first round since everybody was voting Meg. And then everyone until tonight, I voted Hyrie. So no, I didn't know where all the votes were going. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. But, it's just assuming that the people who told me how they were voting was true. And that has yet to happen. There's never been 100% when people said who they were voting, did they actually vote? Some of you,
Well, I
yes,
mean,
some
I
of you,
feel like I've been
but I got all those notes. I know who said what. So
All right, I'm calling it. Take a breath, folks. You can get right on that console call, but maybe just take some time, breathe. It was a messy night, messy ending. It's still messy, and someone's getting murdered tomorrow. So
Great.
have a great night, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow. Also, we are not doing a challenge, so if I said you need supplies, you do not need supplies. I'll confirm
Anybody
that.
getting resurrected though? We're gonna come out of the cave, and I just want to know
All
if
right,
it's
good night, everyone.